And welcome back. Our last guests are the co-founders of Art Science Complex, and they join us to highlight the services that they are offering to their community and speak about how they are, well, they're bridging the gap between art and science. So please welcome to the show, Julie Rauer and Bruce Gemmell. Welcome. Did I say it right?
Yes, Gemmell.
I'm in there, yeah, Gemmell.
Good job.
Bruce Gemmell. Right. So listen, we met at a place we were eating together, and you were sitting right next to me, and we just happened to be speaking about, the arts. And I said, wow, why don't you come on the show and talk about it? So here we are.
Here we are.
And thank you so much. It was a lovely and memorable conversation.
Yes, and this was just about a week or two ago.
Yeah.
So how did you get involved, and how did you guys partner up?
We actually met at a drawing studio, and I was incredibly awkward and kind of like embarrassed myself, and then Julie kind of took pity on me. So that was
she did the same thing to me.
Well, there you go. So very quickly after we met, we started to realize that we had kind of drifted off. We've always been independent, adventurous minds, and we kind of drifted off in our own direction and realized that we had that in common. So, one of the things people ask is well, you're connecting art and science. It's no, we're not. Art and science are connected. It's just that we're trying to get people to understand that.
Yes.
I mean, Leonardo is my hero. I think both of our heroes.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think the reality is he made it clear that we investigate nature. We could use a pencil, we can use a brush, we can use a telescope, microscope, but we're all doing the same thing. We just use different tools.
Yes.
So art and science are basically separated because people don't understand the connectivity. But we're trying to get people to understand that they've never been separated.
Yes.
They're the same thing.
And information is not and should not be compartmentalized.
Yeah.
The human brain does not artificially separate information into these human-made boxes and nooks and crannies. Mm-hmm. It's a fluid internal conversation. Mm-hmm. And just the way music and mathematics are not separated.
Yes.
It's the same thing.
Yeah. Right. It reminds me of when I first wanted to get into chemistry and biology. Chemistry and biology when I was a little kid. My father used to work at a certain place, and he helped this other doctor out, and the doctor had a long white robe behind the door, and he had a high-powered microscope, and I wanted that. And the doctor gave me his robe, and my father brought me a microscope. And when my friends wanted to play basketball, football, or whatever, I was in the room with the microscope, looking at a whole new world.
It's a beautiful world, isn't it?
Yeah. And to try to put that mix together with what's happening, you realize that there's something happening under the microscope that is not visible to the naked eye. Right. But then there's something happening, that's like your subconscious, sort of, kind of. Mm-hmm. Then there's something happening in what you can see. Then there's things that are happening out of space. You see the formations of everything, the cosmics and all of that.
And interestingly, those are the patterns that when they are successful, meaning in nature, they repeat over and over again. Yeah,
see,
exactly.
And we were sitting at the table, we were going deep. She was like, I was like, oh my God.
No, it's easy. It's easy to be overwhelmed if you've met Julie for the first time. I think that's the thing that I think we both were drawn to, is the fact that a lot of people say in fact, coming up this January, we'll be together for 31 years. And everyone said, how do you guys, being so independent, being so intense, how do you stay together? And I think it's because we share that. Rather than have that compete, it actually kind of focuses on the same thing. So what happens is you talk about the fact that these connectedness or these interconnectedness, that's kind of been our focus since day one. So what we found was we drifted from our alleged positions. I'm an architect, Julie's a painter and a writer. And we kind of found ourselves talking to mathematicians, talking to physicists, talking to botanists, talking to people outside. And we realized the conversations were the same. We just had a different perspective. And the thing is, the perspectives were valuable. One of the things that I think is really, really important is that we understand how to say, oh, you know what? I've dealt with that problem.
Yeah.
not in a mathematical sense, in an engineering sense, but you can make the application. And I think that's the thing that is like kind of intrinsically valuable, is that understanding that the issue is the same, it's just been looked at from a different point of view. And the points of view, almost like people are saying like, oh, I never thought about that. In fact, Julie did a fascinating article with an individual from the Museum of Natural History.
Randy, we co-authored an academic article. I actually worked inside the Department of Entomology at the invitation of 3 of the entomologists at the American Museum of Natural History for close to 7 years, and we've both lectured at the American Museum of Natural History.
Wow.
Yeah.
So,
But what was interesting about that article was Julie saw a correlation between lacquer and the exoskeleton of
arthropods. Japanese lacquer.
Yeah, and it was an analogy that actually was
Wait a
actually,
minute. The spider, the roach, the centipede,
millipedes. Yes.
the lobster.
yeah, and
Yeah, that's a crustacean, but yeah,
they're related.
yeah. That way we get into malacology.
Exactly. But it was interesting was Julie saw the correlation, and it actually became the focus of the article, which actually was a fairly successful article.
Yeah, actually it turned out that the correlation is fascinating, how the arthropods form very thin layer over thin layer, just like Japanese traditional lacquerware is 30 to 40 layers applied by the human hand.
Wow.
That is actually very hydrophobic. So it actually repels water, and only when it's compromised by basically drastic changes in temperature or humidity. But otherwise, lacquer is very, very strong, much like an arthropod's exoskeleton.
Yeah, but if you tell someone that the arthropod or the lobster and the roach has the same scientific name, you know, sometimes they step back and say, "Oh, I've been eating that with butter and
And tartar sauce. And they can't really wrap their head around it.
As long as you have a remoulade sauce, you can kind of eat anything.
I just introduced Bruce to the remoulade sauce. I knew he'd love it.
Yeah. So, but interesting. Like the thing is, a lot of times people don't understand the connectedness because we kind of often see like table, laptop, pencil, rather than understanding the connectedness in the network and the process by which things interact.
So how did you guys start the Art Science Complex? How did you create
started
that?
itself.
Well, back in 2010, we've been...
Yeah, I think it kind of started itself. We just found ourselves doing these things, and it started attracting attention.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of said like, hey, you know what? And you know, we were listening to your first guest, and it was a fascinating guy. And I kind of realized, you know, you see a situation that you think, hey, you know what? There's a need for this, or there's an interest in this.
Yes.
But we always thought of that as like, does it interest us? So we started with that. We kind of found ourselves talking to other people and then doing projects. So kind of scientific articles, lectures, programs, and then we started to kind of develop.
And we have a
programs.
book.
Yeah.
We do have a book.
Yes, we do have a book.
Talk about it.
Oh,
Bez or Thirst.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a book that I wrote. It's 10 speculative science fables. It went through 7 to 8 printings, and then sadly the small independent press that published it tanked during COVID, but it had a fairly long life. 5 of my paintings are on the front and back covers, and we had the participation of several notable physicists who actually added quotes. Bruce wrote the introduction. They actually wrote a glossary and analysis.
Because Julie has her own lexicon. She has her own language.
So what do you want people to know about what you guys are doing? And how do you link it to the community?
Well, we've actually had some success in community. When we were in California, we actually have a day named. We have like Art Science Complex Day.
We actually
it's October
do.
5th.
I got about a minute left. So
okay.
Okay.
So we go ahead.
Okay. I will just say the way it has been linked is, for example, we were invited to give the keynote address at the National Gallery of Art. We were invited by the state of Maryland, which then based the entire art program for the next year for all their public school systems on our work.
All right.
So that impact from everything to scientific journals to our books. We also were working on a 6-month grant for the Alzheimer's Association, doing drawing and writing memory retention workshops that were so successful, so effective, that the Parkinson's Association started sending their people to our Alzheimer's Association workshops. So we actually did our Imaginary at both the Barnes & Noble in Tribeca prior to its closing and the Barnes & Noble on 86th Street. So
Imaginary is a setup, pop-up.
it's a building,
platform
writing, model building, painting workshop where we are visualizing interdisciplinary science through metaphor and analogy via painting, drawing, model making, and writing. So this encompasses everything, which,
And this is all on the web. You have a website?
Yes, we also have a YouTube channel,
And a YouTube
Art
channel.
Science
Yeah,
Complex,
Art Science Complex
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And we have a website, artsciencecomplex.com. We have a Facebook page
A Facebook page, an Instagram page.
Yeah, we would like to go there to experience a lot of the stuff that you're talking about today and a whole lot more.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
all there.
We'd all,
Right?
It is.
anytime you want to have us back, we're here.
You
We
got
would
it.
love to come back, and we just did a show on draftsmen and copyists on
right.
our YouTube
Yes,
channel.
just yesterday.
Just
Great.
Yeah, just
All
yesterday.
right, so we'll post some of that stuff on the bottom here, and we'll
would
let
be
people
so
know that
nice.
this is going on, and now people know. Here we go.
And
There
we
you go.
are the visiting interdisciplinary architecture jury critics at CCNY Spitzer School of Architecture. We come in at the midterms, at the finals, and have been since
Oh, wow.
2018,
Before COVID.
prior to
Thank-
COVID.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah.
Thank you guys so
Sorry,
much.
it's a lot to
you.
squeeze in.
Yeah, they're giving me a hard rap
Oh,
right
no,
now.
no,
There you
okay.
go. Julie Rauer
you.
and Bruce Gemmell, founder and Art Science Complex. The both of them, they
Thank
got
you
together
so
and they said,
much.
hey, let's do this. Well, thank you so much.